Hey guys, this is Smithy. Welcome to my channel. If you guys are new here, welcome. Today is yet another dupe video. We're going to do half and half of an affordable and a higher bougie version. So if you can guess which side is more bougie and which side is more affordable, definitely do leave it down in the comment section below. Is it the left side or the right side? Tell me which side looks expensive to you. Let me give you a good look. So comment down below. But if you guess that this is an expensive side, then you are right. But I feel we are very, very close on both the sides. So if you guys want to see how I achieve this full face of dupes, then please keep on watching. I leave the prices and the products and the shades on the screen for you guys if I missed speaking about it. So without further ado, let's begin. I am so excited that I cannot even say. I basically finished my brows. Let me explain you what I used. I basically used my iMethod Beauty brow stamp for my brows. That is it. And for my lip tint oil, I used the Merit's lip tint oil in the shade Taupe. So quickly, let's move on to the dupes. I'm going to do half of the face with the expensive version and the half of the face with the less expensive version or the affordable version. So let's begin. For the first product, I want to mention the Nars Light Reflecting Foundation, and I have the shade Syracuse with me. I have a very tiny little bottle of the sample, but as soon as I use this, and even shade wise, I would say it is so spot on that I had to share it with you guys. And this is like one of my favorite high-end foundations. Even the regular Nars foundation, which is the Radiant Creamy Concealer Foundation, oh my god, I love that too. So this is the shade Syracuse. So let's blend that first. And you can see it's definitely like a medium buildable coverage and a very, very light weight on the skin. Beautiful. And I'm using more of like a fluffy brush, I would say. You can definitely make it like more of a full coverage if you're using more of a denser brush. But today, I was just feeling more of a fluffy brush application. So this is the side with the Nars Light Reflecting Foundation with one layer on. And if I want to like build it up, I surely can do that with the second layer. See how beautifully it builds on top. And the best part, it is so long wearing, it is so lightweight. Now for the counterpart, the foundation that mimics the same kind of quality and the same kind of finish on the face is my Wet n Wild Photo Focus Dewy Foundation. And this is what, like around $5. And in this, I am in the shade Desert Beige. I was shocked when I saw this. And when I applied this on my face and I went to office and I wore this for like a good full day. And by the end of the day, it felt the same. You can hardly recognize that it is like two different foundations. Obviously, shade-wise, let me give you a swatch. The shade Desert Beige is more neutral in tone. Not like a major difference, but still a little neutral in tone. And the shade Syracuse is more of a little more on the neutral warm side, I would say. But finish on the face is like spot on. So this is Wet n Wild and this is Nars. Not much of a difference, but definitely a little more warmer on the Nars side. I can hardly see a difference. You guys tell me if you can see a difference. I basically cannot. So this is the Nars side and this is the Wet n Wild side. Another foundation dupe that I wanted to mention, I'm only not applying it is just because I have applied this and I've mentioned this on my channel several different times. But if you're looking for a dupe for the Estee Lauder Double Wear Sheer Long Wear Makeup, this is beautiful. It's very lightweight on the skin. It is very like serum texture. It's in a squeezy tube. It's very runny when you apply it on your skin. This is very, very beautiful. If you're looking for like a light medium coverage, like a skin tint, you would absolutely love this. Now, if you want to dupe this from the drugstore, I cannot even tell you how close this is. This almost looks like the same product. And I'm talking about the L'Oreal True Match Nude serum foundation, and this I am in the shade 5-6 medium tan. Now this is a little more on the deeper side for me, but the shade 4 to 5 for medium skin tone is an exact dupe for the shade 4 and 1 in the Estee Lauder. I'll leave all the shades on the screen for you guys, but these two are like exact dupes for each other. So if you were eyeing this, definitely try this. I think you'll absolutely love it. And the finish is like spot on dupe for each other. Okay, now let's move on to the concealer dupe. And the concealer dupe that I wanted to mention for is the Lancome's concealer. And this is the Tint Idol Ultra Well All Over Concealer. This is a spot on dupe for the Flower Beauty concealer, the Light Illusion concealer. I cannot even tell you how similar these products are. So I'm going to apply Flower Beauty on this side, just like that. And the Lancome one, cannot even, like I cannot. So that's how everything is looking with the concealer on. Let me set my face with Givenchy powder. I don't have a dupe for this till now. But till that time, I'll show you a close-up once everything is like set before it creases. You can see how smoothly both the concealers look underneath the eyes. And that's just a light dusting of the powder underneath the eyes only. So that's how everything looks. Now this side is Lancome concealer and this side is the Flower Beauty concealer. I personally feel both of them are looking like exactly dupes to each other, and that's exactly why I wanted to mention these dupes, just because I know that Lancome is a pricey product, and if you can get a more affordable version of the same quality, then why not? Both of them are very, very lightweight on the skin underneath the eyes, very liquidy I would say, but it gives a good medium buildable coverage. I have quite a few blushes to mention as a dupe. Let's begin duping. If you were eyeing Fenty's cream blush in the shade Strawberry Drip, now you can see how punchy it is, how beautiful it is. If you're looking for like a springtime poppy blush, this is such a great option. So let me swatch it for you guys. Now that is how Strawberry Drip looks. I'll punch it up a tiny little bit so that you guys can see. So this is a double swatch. Now this is Fenty's Strawberry Drip. The blush that is duping this is from Half Caked, and this is the Candy Paint cream blush in the shade Millions of Peaches. Now I'll show you, even in the pan, it looks so similar, and even the formula, like it is spot on. Now Strawberry Drip would look more punchy just because the background is white and this is pink. But if you look at the blushes itself, it's super similar. So let me swatch the Half Caked one for you guys. Again, a very emollient formula, if you can see. Very similar to the Fenty one. So this is Half Caked Millions of Peaches. Look at that. Is that a dupe or what? Oh my god, I'm so happy. Love it. Okay, so this we are anyways gonna apply for the cream blush. So let's do that. I'm going to take basically the same stippling blush. I'll just twist it on either side. So this is Strawberry, okay, high-end side. So this is Strawberry Drip. It's beautiful for like a springtime blush. Love it. You can keep it subtle if you want. I'm going to keep it subtle just because I am going to go for more blush options. I'm going to turn the brush the other way and I'm going to apply Millions of Peaches on this side. How pigmented that is, I cannot even. And it blends so beautifully into the skin. It's just unreal. I absolutely love these bronzers and blushes from Half Caked. Very underrated brand, I would say. The product is lovely. The shade that is called Velvet Tiger It's a nudie mauve shade. That's like my go-to. I use that the most. That's how the Fenty cream blush in Strawberry Drip and Half-Caked cream blush in Millions of Peaches look. You can see how similar that is. And even like in the swatch you saw, like so beautiful it is. Okay, now, are you ready? If you were eyeing Pat McGrath's blush in the shade Nude Venus, which is a very, very popular shade from her line. It's a nudie everyday shade. If you were eyeing this, a very, very affordable option is there from the e.l.f. blush line, and the shade is called Always Rosy. Oh my goodness, look at that. Look at that. It is so unreal that how these even like looks on the skin. It's beautiful. So this is Pat McGrath's blush in the shade Nude Venus. I'm going to put it there. And then on the other hand, I'm going to take Always Rosy from e.l.f. and put it here. I don't have anything to say. Like, look at that. Isn't that similar or what? Like, I feel the e.l.f. one is a tiny little bit more darker, but on the face, they are like spot on. Even in the swatch, they're very, very similar, like very similar. So I'm going to apply that as my blush. So let's take that, Pat McGrath. I'm going to apply that. I definitely don't need much because I'm already super, super blushed. And then Always Rosy on the other side. Let's tap off the excess. I just don't have any words to say how I'm feeling. So let me just calm down the blush a little bit by blending the edges with the foundation brush. Just a tiny little bit because I'm super, super flushed. But that's how everything is looking. Pat McGrath, Nude Venus, e.l.f.'s Always Rosy. Sorry for the background noise if you can hear that. Another dupe for the blush. If you were eyeing Benefit Cosmetics Dandelion, which is this beautiful pink shade, it's a very natural nudie pink shade. A very, very affordable option is from LA Girl, and this is the blush in the shade Just Natural. They are so similar. This is Dandelion and this is LA Girl. Super, super similar. Let me swatch it for you guys. So this is Dandelion and this is the LA Girl blush. Like, look at that. Look at that. So this is Benefit Cosmetics Dandelion and this is LA Girl Just Natural. Like superb, superb quality also. I actually prefer the quality of the LA Girl one a little more than the Benefit Cosmetics one, but I know these are super, super popular, and yeah, I don't have any more words to even describe how similar they are in the tones, in the shades. When it goes to the skin, undetectable. Now let's move on to the bronzer, the blush and the highlighter dupe. Now, who remembers this? This is the quad from Hourglass. And this was called the Ambient Lighting Edit Mini. This was such a overrated quad in my opinion. Definitely beautiful for like light to medium tan skin tones. Definitely would not work for deeper skin tones. But if you were the ones that did not purchase this but were eyeing this, but only because of the price you could not, a very, very affordable option as compared to Hourglass. And with the same shade except the setting powder is from Ulta Beauty. And this is the Ulta's 3-in-1 cheek palette. And this one is in the shade Santorini Sun. When you see the squad, the bronzer exactly the same. The highlighter looks almost same on the face. The Ulta one is a little more on the brighter side. Blush exactly the same. The only thing that is missing from the Ulta one is this setting powder, but otherwise super, super similar products. So let me swatch it for you guys. Bronzer, highlighter, blush. So where do I do it? So bronzer, highlighter, blush. One swipe situation. Now I'm going to do the same thing from the Ulta Beauty one. Bronzer, highlighter, and blush. Bronzer, highlighter, and the blush. Definitely, I would say it's only the highlighter is definitely a little more on the punchier side, but rest everything you can see how similar it is. I have worn this product several times to office when I go for work, and it looks almost same. So let me apply it for you guys. I'm gonna take Ulta one on this side. I'm taking the bronzer right now. And I'm also going to apply this underneath my cheekbones. Let's take the Hourglass one, bronzer on this side. And then for the highlighter, I'm going to take the Hourglass one and just pop it here. It's beautiful. The way it blends into the skin is what is amazing. I'm going to take the Ulta Beauty one. Definitely a little more on the punchier side. So just go with like a tiny little bit pressure, but blends seamlessly into the skin. Just like that. Look at the difference. Hourglass and Ulta Beauty. I cannot. I have no words. Okay, let's finish off with the lips. Now, there's certain shades that are spot on. There's certain which are like formula dupes. So let's start off with the formula dupes. If you were eyeing Merit Beauty's signature lipsticks, these are like very balmy, very flush. It gives like a very tinted lipstick kind of an effect on the lips. As you can see, it definitely has like a sheen on it. If you were eyeing those lipsticks, I would say formula wise, the Milani's, what is this called? I don't know. I'll leave it on the screen. The one that is more of that balmy consistency, because Milani has quite a few in their line. And this one is in the shade Tied Up. Very, very similar in like texture, but Milani is a little more on the pigmented side. So that's the only one. If you're looking for a less pigmented option, I would say Merit Beauty. It's good for layering up, but Milani would give that same supple, juicy kind of a balmy consistency on the lips. So if you're looking one from the drugstore, Milani has a great option. So the next lipstick that I have to talk about is Charlotte Tilbury's Pillow Talk, and this is how Pillow Talk looks. And the one that dupes the Charlotte Tilbury's Pillow Talk is the one from Milani's Matte Fetish line, and this is the shade which is called Secret. Look how similar those things are. Like, look at that. Charlotte Tilbury and Milani Matte Fetish in Secret. Superb formula dupe, I would say. Formula dupe, shade dupe, like spot on. The next lipstick dupe that I wanted to mention is from Pat McGrath, and this is the Pat McGrath Matte Trance lipstick in the shade Venus in Furs. Where should I swap? Where should I swipe so that you can see? It's a beautiful mauve tone brown lipstick, like my everyday kind of shade. Now, the dupe is not from drugstore, but a more affordable version, I would say. So if you have one, you don't need the other. It's from Makeup by Mario, and the shade is called Fanda. And these are also pretty similar in tones, I would say. Again, a mauve, cool tone, mauve brown shade. If you ask me, Pat McGrath has a little more is more on the sheeny side, and the Makeup by Mario one is more matte. But on the lips, they're pretty spot on. Let's do Pat McGrath. On this side. Yeah, I knew that I would do that. That's why I did half the lips. And I'm going to do Makeup by Mario on this side. Now, as you can see, there's a definite sheen on the right side of the lips, but the shade is pretty similar. So I'm going to finish it off with a lip liner and I'll come right back. I basically am using KKW's Nude 2.5. I had done a dupe video for this lip liner because you cannot find this. It is from Colourpop and the shade is called BFF3 if you're looking for a dupe. I had actually done a dupes video. I had mentioned that. I mentioned a lot of dupes in that video also. I'll link it in the iCards above if you're looking for more dupe videos. Now, let's do an eyeliner dupe. The eyeliner dupe that I want to talk about is from Hindash and this is their Hero Line eyeliner. And this has been duped by the Wet n Wild Break Proof Liner. So similar. I cannot even tell you how similar it is. So let me do it. So let me show it to you guys. A brush tip applicator, matte and black. Okay, so that's how things are looking. So talking about the eyeliners, the Hero Line eyeliner, both of them are like brush tip. Both of them are super fine, super matte, super black. So let me swatch it for you guys and show it to you. So this is the Hero Line eyeliner from Hindash and this is the Breakproof liner by Wet n Wild. So you can see almost the same width, same thickness, the same blackness, and it goes on matte when it is applied onto the eyes, as you can see. Like superb quality. Okay, so now there's one more formula dupe that I wanted to mention to you guys. If you guys were eyeing M Cosmetics lip cushions, and I'm not talking about the shade dupe because it's not a shade dupe. If you were eyeing the same, I would say if you can find Colourpop's Glowing Lip, the one that comes in this format, and this one I have in the shade Let's Jet. It is very similar. I would say the M Cosmetics one is a little more on the thicker side, but as you can see, definitely not a shade dupe. This one is M Cosmetics one and this one is the Colourpop one, but very glowing, very moisturizing on the lips. Yeah, take it with a grain of salt. If you want it, keep it, but very comparable, I would say, definitely not a dupe. So let's move on to the eyeshadow. Now this is the product that I do not have the high-end version of, but I would say if you were eyeing the newest Patrickta palette, the rose eyeshadow palette, and you were like eyeing those brownie pinky tones, and if you just want like one eyeshadow palette to go to for similar kind of tones, I would highly recommend Glamlight's Chocolate Martini palette. The moment I got this and when I was like looking for it, if you individually see those shades, it definitely has those light mauvey pinky tones. It has those mauvey tones. It has those like orangey rusty tones. And when you go with like shimmers, it definitely has that, you know, the rose gold shade, the pinky shade, the golden shade. It's definitely missing the duochrome of like that gold to pink. It has that deeper, chocolatey brown shimmer shade. It has a deep brown shade. And it also has that orangey shimmer shade that it is there in the Patrickta's palette. So I would say it won't be like shade to shade exact match, but you would get a similar vibe if you do own this palette. So I definitely wanted to use this palette because I'm dying to test this out. So let's begin using this palette because I am so excited. I'm going to take Irish Cream, and I love Glamlight's formula. Oh, I should have actually done my eyeliner a little later, but that's okay. So Irish Cream would go on like a transitioning shade. If there's a shade that corresponds to the Patrickta palette, I'll leave the Patrickta's palette on the screen for you guys on one corner and I'll point to that shade and you can definitely see what I'm using right now. So I'm basically going to stick to those tones that is there in Patrickta's palette. So that would be a beautiful transitioning shade. I love, oh my god, I can just like take this shade all over the eyelid and that can be like a one and done shade. But if you know, you know, Glamlight's shimmers are where it stands the most. Love them. And then I'm going to take, what should I take? I'm going to take Girls Night Out on the outer corners. a little more of like a mauvey brown shade, but a little more deeper in tone. I'm going to take it with the same fluffy brush first and just blend it out towards the center of my eyelid, just to give it a little more depth. And I'm going to take this same shade on my lower lash line too. Okay, now I'm going to dip into this dark chocolate shade. I'm just going to blend that towards my outer corners, just to deepen it a tiny little bit. Beautiful tones, man. By the way, if you guys are looking to test out Glamlight's palette, I mean, I love their quality. There's no doubt in it at all. And I actually do have a coupon code. I just got it when I purchased these palettes, and you can use the code called GLAM15 for 15% off. Yeah, 15% off. There you go. And I'm just gonna take the first fluffy blending brush that we used earlier and just blend the edges so that there's no harsh lines. Nothing particular, but just blown out look. Like, I love it. You might have to apply the eyeliner again, but yes, let's continue. I'm gonna take, what am I gonna take? Okay, I'm gonna take this shade, which is called Extra Lit from the palette, and I'm gonna apply that. Oh my goodness. Stop. Okay, just stop. Okay. I am getting those like glittery, shimmery feelings. Oh, I cannot. I'm gonna take that almost on the, till the half of my eyelid, I would say. Just because I want to. And you can see that impact, like, it's beautiful. I like shimmers, I mean, if you cannot tell. Now, because the Patrick palette also has a deeper shimmer, I'm going to take this shade, which is called Chocolate. Oh my god, look at that. Look at that. And I'm just going to blend this out from the center of my eyelid and going towards the deeper shade. And we'll have to intensify the deeper, the matte brown shade a tiny little bit more. We can do that. Love it. So I'm again going to take this shade, which is called Dark Chocolate, and just intensify the outer corners and just blow the lower lash line. I'm going to take a clean fluffy brush and just blend out the edges. For my inner corners, I'm just going to take, I don't know, should we take the same shade? I'm going to take this and this whitish goldenish shade just to lighten it a tiny little bit. And I'm just going to apply that to the inner corners. Look at the shade that it pops. I'm just going to sweep it towards the inner third, just like that. Oh my god, I'm loving this look. So that's my final look. And you can see, like, this side is totally expensive and bougie, and this side is an affordable version of it. And you can see how similar my face looks. Like, tell me if I'm wrong or right, but I feel like it's so similar. My complexion, my lips, everything looks so similar. So if you guys enjoyed this video, definitely do give it a thumbs up. If you have any dupes in your collection that you were eyeing, do let me know. Actually, one of my subscribers, Kim here, mentioned me that the Patricta's palette is very similar to the Huda Beauty's Naughty Nude palette. So if you do have that, I'll pop a picture on the screen because she did send me like the swatches, and they were so similar. Even the Mercury Retrograde palette does have a few shimmer shades and the matte shades similar to the new Patricta palette. So if you were eyeing those, if you have those palettes, you can definitely get a similar vibe. But if you are looking for like one palette option, I think this is a very good option. I personally feel even like those shimmer, the sparkliness that the Patricta palette has, Glamlight has like super shimmery sparkly shade, but like very smooth shimmers. I am in love with this look. These are like my tones. So I thoroughly enjoyed making this dupe video for you guys. I hope that you guys really enjoyed this. If you did like it, do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and ring the notification bell so that you're notified every time that I post next. I generally upload 3 videos every single week, every Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays at 9 AM Eastern Standard Time. Until next time, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.